So what's up, guys? It's Miles back with another video. I want to touch on something that's personal that not many people talk about. I want to talk about today the nihilistic episode, the occasional nihilistic episode. So what is nihilism, Miles? Like, what are you talking about? Like, what is this, some kind of academic term that nobody knows about? Are you trying to sound fancy? Are you trying to sound cute? Like, what are you talking about? Nihilism is basically you have no will, you have no belief in anything in your life in order to keep going. You've pretty much given up on life. You see no point in going to work. You see no point in religion. You see no point in working out. Like, you pretty much just see no point in living. You're suicidal, possibly. Not something to advocate, but this is something that we all deal with to some degree. You know, we all, if we're being honest, we've all had thoughts of, like, man, like, I can't go on. Like, man, I can't do this anymore. You know, it's fascinating to me because we see each other in public, we see each other in social settings, and we all appear so happy. We all appear so glad. There's no signs of sadness or depression when we're in public. But when we are behind closed doors, that tells the story. Could it be possible that we never know what anybody's going through? Is everybody an actor in their own movie? Truth be told, could we take somebody telling the truth about being suicidal? Could we direct them? Could we be a therapist, a psychiatrist, and just listen to them and not judge them in order for them to get these thoughts off? Like, these are things that we all go through to some degree. I've gone through it. Now, I've gotten to the point where I wanted to kill myself, but there's been times in my life where it was extremely hard and I didn't want to keep going, but somehow I found a way to keep going. So is there a way we can stop the nihilistic episode from happening? Are we fighting something that we cannot beat? See, in my opinion, I think depression, nihilism to a degree is needed occasionally. Occasionally. I don't want you to think about this every second of every day, every week. I don't want any of that. That's not healthy at all. But I think if things are worth fighting for, it should be a burden to you. It should be hard. You shouldn't want life to be easy. I think this is just my opinion and talking to people and being a good listener. When you ask the right questions and you allow people to talk, really all they want to do, most people, they just want to be heard. They just want to vent those feelings off. They don't really want to act on them feelings. They just want to get them off so they can go on about their day. They're holding in things so heavy. They're holding on in things that are such a burden to them that just talking about it releases it all. So should we be good listeners? Should we be interested in other people? And I think that is extremely important. I know we as human beings, we have a tendency to be self-preservation, or we have a tendency to self-preserve. Put ourselves first as far as like our safety and health. Then we go out and help each other, right? But occasionally, since we live in this social media era where narcissism is running rampant everywhere, right? with selfies and everything and likes and everything. People become full of themselves and they talk about themselves all too much, not knowing that they're degrading or degrading somebody else. So if this is needed, Miles, like, what's your point? Like, what's your point? Well, if we didn't have a nihilistic episode, if we didn't have tough times, we wouldn't value the good times. We wouldn't value the sunshine. I have a video coming out for you guys on Wednesday, a little YouTube short. It's called The Rhythm of Life, where I dive into this specific thing of how things flow in life that I found out. I might be wrong, but I'm going to make sense of it, and I'm going to describe this as best as I could, because this is an awakening that I've had recently in life. So stay tuned for that. But guys, I think we need the depression. I think we need the nihilistic episode occasionally. Right? We need things to be hard so that we can value them long term. Right? Truth be told, if you're depressed, if you're feeling nihilistic, I could argue that you're actually trying to affect something. You're actually trying to change your life. Because if you didn't do anything, if you just stayed mediocre, you wouldn't have a nihilistic episode as often, or you wouldn't have a bad time, so to say. If you just went with the flow of life, didn't think too much, didn't want to affect change, didn't want to help other people, didn't want to achieve your goals. If you didn't want to do any of that and you just stayed mediocre, like you probably never had a nihilistic episode, right? Or you're born into comfort, you're born into a rich family, right? Which is nothing wrong with that. But this is the nihilistic episode comes regardless of who you are. It might not be the same thing that my occasional nihilistic episode is, or your occasional nihilistic episode is, but nonetheless, a nihilistic episode is a nihilistic episode. So what causes us to get over this, right? Miles, you're talking about what it is and why we need it, but how do we get over this? What are some solutions to get over this, right? Like what is the point of bringing this up if we can't solve it? Well, I talk about this more in depth in my Wednesday video, but I'm going to talk about it right now. Everything in life is temporary. Bad times, when they come for a season. They may come from a year, 6 months. It may be 5 years. But in the rhythm of life, the pendulum has to swing towards good times eventually. It's inevitable. If you do not quit, if you just keep going, if you find a will to live, a will to will yourself to success, will yourself through that burden, because it is a will, guys. This is a hard thing to fight for a reason. People get stuck in this stage. You have to fight your way out. This isn't one of those things where you just occasionally can sleep it off and it just goes. Sometimes it stays around for a while. And you have to fight your way out. This is why your environment has to be wired for you, wired for your happiness, your success. With other negative people, when you have this nihilistic episode and you try to go talk to them about it, they're just going to make it even worse. So guys, I wanted to come in and talk about this video. It's kind of getting a little bit long. I don't want to make it too long. But I feel like this is needed. I feel like we need to talk about stuff like this because, this is real stuff that people deal with on a day-to-day basis. Like, I deal with this stuff too. Like, I'm not exempt from this at all. The reason why I can break it down the way I can break it down is because I've had it before, right? And I probably will have it again, right? But it doesn't last always. It doesn't last. And as long as you keep going and you have a will to live, a will to keep going, a will to push through no matter what, it will come to fruition. It will exceed itself. This is what people mean when they say, just give it time. Time heals everything. That's exactly what it means. So guys, y'all have a good day, a good week. I'll be back with another video Wednesday, then another video on Thursday. Like, comment, subscribe, share this video if you like this video. Share it to other people that you think may need it. We out. Have a good one.